Yo, what's up guys, John Boogle here, and today we are here with the first part of the Revenge Advent for Queen Bee. This one is a fairly simple level, same as the second one as well, but of course we're gonna first go through the first part of this Revenge Advent. Obviously, the main thing here is cat combos. Bring a decent cat combo as we are using Cool Japan. There's lots of other cat combos that work, but the force plot attack up is pretty useful, so Cool Japan. And we're bringing Vendor Cat, as you can see in this strategy. And Vendor can be a huge help in this level. It doesn't have to be at level 40, level 30 is fine, but other units generally just make sure they're above level 30. They don't have to be level 40, they don't have to be level 35. Just make sure they are at least above 30. Now the strategy doesn't really change that much here, there's just the restriction, and with that restriction it's pretty flexible since super rares are pretty broken, so you should be able to handle this stage pretty fine. But either way, it is pretty much the same thing as the first level. So when Queen Bitch comes out, you can either use Can. We went with Seafarer just for that extra chance to freeze proc. And if you are able to get that freeze proc off, that's when things become a massive joke. But it's pretty much the same thing as the first level, like I said before. Just time in your initial units and you should be set to set up your stack. And once you have a decent stack up there, you can just start bursting down Queen Bee. If your units are high enough leveled, you will be able to kill Queen Bee very quickly in the beginning. And with Cool Japan, it makes it a lot easier as well. Now, if you don't kill Queen Bee in the initial wave, that's when Vendor Cat comes in clutch. So when the Brawler wave comes out, of course, you have two choices. You can either reset and lure, or you can keep pushing hard. In this case, since we do have some cash, we're still pushing forward. So maybe we might be able to kill Queen Bee initially. And we sent out Vendor Cat early. Generally, what you want to do is, if you aren't able to handle the Brawler wave and push hard after, what you want to do is actually lure Queen Bee and lure the Sloth. And once that happens, you can use Vendor Cat to knock the Sloth back behind Queen Bee and just wipe out Queen Bee. Then you're just left with Sloth alone, and that is very easy to handle. That's pretty much it. The details are all explained in the initial guide. There isn't really too much more to explain in this stage. It is very similar to that one as well. And as for the second part to this Revenge Advent stage, it is also fairly simple. This whole Advent with Queen Bitch is really simple. There's really nothing too difficult about any of these stages at all, as long as you have the minimum required levels and the right gacha units. You're pretty much set. But this was the good run. I'll show the run where you want to lure just in case you're confused about what I was talking about, and you'll see that right here. So everything won't go perfect all the time. Maybe you won't get as much freeze procs from Seafarer, maybe you don't time your initial units correctly, maybe you waste too much cash in the beginning. The point is, everything can't really be that perfect. True, this stage is reliant on some of your timings, but there's still other things that can go wrong. And in this run, you can obviously see it was cash management. In the first run we did, there was a lot more cash management and we were a lot safer with our units. In this run, we weren't able to handle this Brawler wave in the initial push, and what happened was we ended up luring, and that was the first part I was talking about. There's two decisions you take from that initial push. Either you keep pushing hard if you do have the cash, or you reset and lure. And once you reset and lure, you use Vendor Cat to knock back the Sloth all the way back behind Queen Bee, and that is when you can just start bursting down Queen Bee all over again. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And if you aren't able to burst down Queen Bee in the second big push, just reset and do it over again until you finally kill Queen Bee. Now there is a second way to do this stage, and that is bursting down the Sloth first. But if you don't have the help of Ubers, and without a Bahamut, it becomes very difficult to burst down the Sloth without having issues with Queen Bee. So first, you gotta take out the bigger problem, which is Queen Bee, then you can easily handle the Sloth alone. And some can argue that the slot is actually the bigger problem in this level. If it is for you, then you can do the stage the other way around and just initially burst down the slot, and with that, of course, you don't need Vendorcat, and then you can move on to taking on Queen Bee alone. Yeah, that wraps up the first part of this Revenge Advent, and a pretty easy one, nothing too crazy here. Drop a like if this guide helped you out, subscribe if you're new, join the hashtag Boogle gang, and I'll see you next time for the second part to this Revenge Advent. It's been John Boogle, and see you.